You're welcome to another episode of the program Know Your Legislator, brought to you from NTA Parliament on the Abuja capital city. At today's program, we have Senator Reverend Amos Yohanna, Senator representing Adamawa North Senatorial District. My name is Abubakar Galadima. Distinguished Senator, can you please give us a brief background about who Senator Reverend Amos Yohanna is?
Thank you. You're most welcome, and I appreciate you having me.
Thank you so much, sir.
I am Amos Yohanna, as you rightly put, and I was born some 63 years ago in the town of Mubi, Adamawa State. And like any normal child growing up in those days, went to primary school, to secondary school, then I ventured into seminary. And went to seminary. I hold 2 degrees in pastoral psychology and diploma from ABU, Institute of Education.
Prestigious ABU.
Yeah. And many short-time executive courses in project management, in administration, security management, and many of such fields, more than 10 different courses. And been in the church for about, directly or indirectly, for the last 43 years.
Wow.
So I'm a full church man. And basically that is who I am.
Okay, Senator, from what you've shared, and from what I've gathered, you've been an astute administrator and to sum it all, a clergyman. It means you have you've been dealing with lots of people, helping people with their faith. So, Senator, how do you manage that and now politics?
It's not a difficult thing to do, because both in the church and in the politics, it all has to do with the people.
Yes.
And I have been a people's man. I've lived my life from early years and up to today, relating and dealing with people. And that's my joy, that's my wealth. And so to transit from the pulpit to politics is much easier, because it's the same people that I have served all my years, all my life. So politics is a slightly different terrain.
Yes.
But it's the same people. The same people in the church are the people in the society. And the people that I've dealt with outside the church are still the same people that are in the community that I represent, both Christians and Muslims, and I have lived my life like that. Even as a pastor, I have dealt with all shades of human beings. So for me, it's not a difficult thing. It's not an entirely new thing. So it's just that the rules are slightly different.
Yes.
The engineering is quite different. But they are human beings, and that's the joy of it all.
Thank you very much, Senator. You are the Vice Chairman, Senate Committee on Niger Delta, and you also belong to, say, about 14 other committees. Distinguished Senator, give us briefly about these committees. Let viewers know how engaged every day of your activities are.
Yeah, it takes almost all of my time.
24 hours.
Yeah, you hardly have any time for myself. Because of my upbringing and my training, I want to give anything I do my whole, my everything. I have passion to see goals being achieved. Commitment to responsibilities is the values I've been brought with. And so I ensure that in all my committees, I give them my total commitment. I attend all my committee meetings. And if there are oversized visits or functions, I, as much as possible, try to engage in them. If I cannot do something well, I don't want to do it at all. So I want to give everything that I find to do well. Do them well, do them with passion, with commitment, and also see that goals are being achieved. So I share my time. Thank God they are not that everybody will come at the same time and say, do this. These things are scheduled, they are paced, so it's easier to attend to this and later to that. So time sharing, management, which I have done all my life, is what I am doing today.
Thank you very much, Senator. Looking at your constituents in general, what will you say is the major source of revenue to your constituents? Agriculture,
without a second thought. Agriculture, agriculture, agriculture. My constituents are people who are into agriculture, farming of different sorts. Second to it, I will say they are businessmen as well, because when they grow from their farms, it's not just for consumption, they also sell. So you go to Mubi today, which is the headquarters of the senatorial district, you see trailers and trailers of trucks carrying food produce to all the regions of the country, be it crops, be it animals, and whatever from agric. They sell them across the country. So that brings them into business as well. So they buy and sell, they grow and sell, and they do all sorts of things. But mainly is agric-based.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so still on the source of revenue, still on agric. Looking at the whole agricultural activities, what do you see any other aspects that needs legislation?
Yeah, they need institutions that will modernize the agriculture that they are involved with. And thank God we now have a University of Agriculture, a brand new one that is about to take off with all the administration being set in place. So that will help with research and studies on how to help the people go into modern farming. And then, but you also need, in the area of legislation, is to ensure that is in terms of appropriation, so that roads, access roads can be made available to the people so that they can bring their farm produce to commercial centers and sell them. That sustains their livelihood. And also to ensure that there is security, which we are involved with also in the legislature, to ensure that they have security to go about their normal activities on their farms, in the marketplaces. That is there. So major thing is research and security and access roads. So all these things come from legislation. Some of them are already in place. For example, the University of Agriculture came about through legislation and is there. Appropriation is legislation. That is what I am focused on driving it in the coming months and couple of years, so that people have a very conducive atmosphere to go about their activities, to do what they are supposed to do to make their livelihoods much easier.
Sometimes some of the governors are talking about state police. Probably that will help in areas of security. What's your take on that?
I as a person, support state policing totally. And that is coming from my experience. That in the community, you need people who are from those localities and communities to engender community engagement, to ensure that these are the people who know the community, know the terrain, speak their language. That will help them to do their policing activities more effectively. And that will also help with there are many remote areas that you hardly find the presence of security. So if you have the state police, that brings it closer to the people. The present Nigerian police force is doing well. They are doing their best. I commend them all the time. They are doing their best. But it's not enough. Nigeria is a very vast country.
Yes, indeed.
And so to decentralize the police, so to speak, by way of establishing state policing, I think it's a right direction to go.
What would you say so far has been your challenges and achievements?
Well, 6 months is quite a short time for a legislator to begin to count his achievements. But we've been able to drive some interventions. Those interventions are in the areas of water, in the areas of food. I came in at the point where the issue of palliative was being peddled around and driven actually.
Yes.
And we'll be able to do that. We'll be able to distribute close to 6,000, 7,000 bags of rice and other grains and things like that. And we'll be able to also intervene in education by personally, without going into the normal appropriation things, intervene in the areas of education by selecting some young people to pay for their JAM exams.
Okay.
And the reports I receive from the people in my office is almost all of them, I think close to 200. And they got high scores in their JAM examinations.
That's encouraging.
And also in the areas of recruitment, being able to assist some few people, get some people employed or recruited into the Nigerian Army, into the Nigerian police, into fire service, and the rest of it. Those are things that we go around helping our people, especially the youth, get into it. And many other interventions. Communities call me and they tell me our boreholes of many years have broken down. 2-3 years we have no water. I come in, not that government gives me money for that. It's just from my normal allowances of running the office and the rest, or my salary. I send that those interventions, and we have done that across the local governments. Repair all boreholes, dig holes. At the moment, we are even working on having some wells up the mountains where a borehole cannot even be sunk because of the terrain. It's rocky, it's hilly.
Yes.
So at the moment, in fact, they just sent me their feasibility studies from one community in Michika local government. We're going to do that. Those are just interventions.
Based on the requests from the community. They cannot be said they are constituency projects or whatever. They are just need from the people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. They say for every successful man also would like to leave a lasting legacy. A legacy that even if tomorrow that person is no more, will be referred back to? What would you like to be remembered for?
Well, of course, I want people to remember me for good, for the things I have done to touch people's lives, because that is what is paramount.
Even as a pastor, as an ordinary citizen, that has always been my desire and my drive, that I be remembered for how I have impacted people's lives and made their lives better than I met them. And for them to decide to send me to the Senate, I want to use all the privileges and the resources that will be put at the disposal of the constituency to touch the lives of the people. And we are going to drive that through the agriculture, make sure that they have farm implements, fertilizer, insecticides, herbicides that is done. We want to light up the area also. Electricity is very poor, in some areas non-existent. And I want to drive the issue of solar to ensure that people in the remotest of the villages have access to light, at least light, so that they can go about their activities in the night. And just do things, medical, water, do whatever that is there at our disposal to ensure that we impact their lives, so that they feel that truly my representation has brought this thing to them, because I am their employee, they are my employers. And so I want them to remember that once upon a time we sent somebody to the Senate, and all around us we can see his fingerprints in areas of healthcare, in areas of agriculture, in areas of lighting, power, and the rest of it. And then individually touch their lives. Those who could not go to school because of school fees and the rest should be able to go to school. I cannot do for everybody, or maybe not even most of the people, but as much as my hands can reach, I want to send people, let them go to school. Let them sit back. Many years ago, many are already saying it. I've done that. It's not something I want to learn because I'm a politician today. I've sent many people to universities. They call me and say, Daddy, thank you. I'm here today because you are there for me. And I want to expand this now that I have more privileges so that people's lives are touched. And that is it. And somebody asked me, what makes you happy? What makes me happy is when through my activities, some people are happy.
Thank you very much. On behalf of NTA Parliament, we wish you success and God's blessing while you do that.
Appreciate so much.
The program is still Know Your Legislator. We'll take a short break now. We'll return in a moment. Are you looking for a short channel to make your business, goods and services go viral? Look no further, as NTA Parliament is your short channel. Take advantage of our wider reach and advertise your products and services on NTA Parliament DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, StarTimes channel 306, and Free TV channel 706. For more inquiries, contact the Marketing Department, NTA Parliament, NTA Headquarters Area 11 Garki, Abuja, or call these numbers 080-383-40464 or 080-770-78055. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy. Welcome back to the program, and we're still talking with Senator Reverend Amos Yohanna, Senator representing Adamawa North Senatorial District. I'm still Abubakar Galadima. Senator, can you give us a briefly about some of your bills or motions that you have on your cake?
Yeah, as you know, just this month, even trying to understand the terrain in the Senate, but we've developed quite a number that we are trying to push through. One of them is on the issue of agriculture because of fertilizers. I have a motion about that I will soon present. There are issues on telecommunication, There are issues with national ID identification. There are so many issues like that. And then, of course, we are trying to develop some bills that will have to do with research for youth, and especially ICT, so that youth can be adequately engaged, so that we can have things like research centers or institutes that have to do with ICT training, so that people have more opportunity to engage their modern world. The world is changing very fast because of ICT technology. And so all those things are there. We are working on it, but we're developing more. As the months pass by, we are getting grip of so many things. During the next recess, we are going to engage the communities so much in town hall meetings, so that we will get more of what they want, because I promise them that we are going to rule bottom up. It's not something you sit in Abuja and say, they have this, you need this. No, let the people say this is what we need. And we have started. And that is why you see in 6 months, we are already making strides, touching them. Some people sit, armchair critics or politicians will sit and say, is that what senators should do? But they forget that governance is about the people.
Yes.
If people say this is what we need, you give it to them. If you don't have, you tell them, I don't have now, but I'm working on it. And so when somebody calls you and say, we don't have water for 2 years, because all the boreholes that we used to have been broken down, and you come in and intervene, that is what they want at the moment. And you do more for them. The new ones will come up. Certainly by the close of this year, we are going to do more boreholes for people. If you know my community, you know that it's a rural community. And issue of water is a major challenge in many of the areas. People drink from streams. People have to walk for kilometers to fetch water to drink. So if you can provide that, if that is what they want, you give it to them. That is representation.
Yes.
I was not elected to go and shoot satellite into the sky. I was elected to represent them and bring something that benefits them in their local communities. And that is what we are working on. And so bills and motions regarding those things will come up.
I wish you success, Senator.
Thank you.
Now let's go on a lighter note. You still manage your clergy activities, I believe, and now your senatorial activities, making you all-round clock, left, right, and center, working day and night. How do you relax?
Well, I don't really do the real pastoral work anymore.
Okay.
Because even before I was elected senator, I had already retired. But you continue to do these things, helping people, talking to people. As a pastoral psychologist, I do a lot of counseling to people. And we do that, and whatever my own resident pastor wants me to do. Now I sit under a resident pastor, and so if he wants me to help with that or that, I still do. Of course, busy. But one has to find time to relax. So from time to time, I find time to play.
Thank you very
in
much.
a very positive sense.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
You so much for having us. Thank you for giving us the opportunity.
Much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. We've come to the end of the program, Know Your Legislator. We'll stay with us, same time, same station. Goodbye.